project is an automated pet feeding system. The purpose of this project is to help people who have pets, and although they face a problem where they're away and have to worry about the fact that their pet is not being fed on time. So it's mainly for the people who are at work for more than 12 hours. So we came up with this idea to design a pet feeding system to help such people with this problem.
The way we've designed this system is that when your pet comes near to eat, the motion sensor will detect the presence of your pet and the food will automatically drop. Furthermore, what we have done is that we have used an ultrasonic sensor which is kept at the top, which detects the level of the food in the jar, and if it's low, the LEDs will tell the user if the food capacity is low in the jar.
So here we have used two Arduinos with breadboards. We've used a passive infrared motion sensor, two basic LEDs, and also we have used an ultrasonic sensor. And we have also used a servo motor.
So in this diagram, what we have done is that we have connected the Arduino to the breadboard, and using two jumper wires we have connected the voltage 5 volts in the voltage spot and ground to the ground spot. Then we took a motion sensor and we connected it to the ground and voltage on the breadboard, and we connected the signal to pin number 2. And what we have done with the micro servo is that we have connected it to the breadboard using two jumper wires, that is for voltage and ground, and then the signal goes to the pin point number 3 on Arduino. In this Arduino, we have used a breadboard and two LEDs and an ultrasonic sensor. What we have done is we have connected each of the LEDs to pin number 6 and 5, and we have used two resistors, one of 220 ohms and the other one of 330 ohms, and we have connected to the ground side on the breadboard. And then we have connected the ground of ultrasonic sensor to the ground on the breadboard. We have used another jumper wire to connect it to the Arduino Uno, the echo point, and the trick point is connected to pin number 3, and the VCC is connected to 5 volts. And using another jumper wire, we have just connected the ground to the ground on the breadboard.
This is a part of the code for our pet feeding system, which is responsible for detecting the motion and dropping the food. In this code, we define two components, PIR motion sensor and servo motor. We define the pins for them, and we specify that the servo should take the input from the PIR sensor. We have a condition over here in the loop which says that if something is detected from the motion sensor, which is the input over here, digital read PIR, this means that the value will be high. And if the value will be high, which means that something passes in front of it, then the servo should move to 180-degree angle. If nothing passes in front of it, which is the other condition, then the servo shouldn't move at all. This is the other part of our project's code. This code is responsible for detecting the food in the jar and indicating to the user that if the food level is too low. We are using two components in this code, which are ultrasonic sensor and the LEDs. First of all, we define the pins for the ultrasonic sensor, and then we define the pins for the LEDs. We set the baud rate to 9600 for serial monitor. Then we define from which components we need the output and from which components we need the input. Then in the loop we are declaring two variables of the data type long, duration and distance. We will calculate the distance through duration, as the ultrasonic sensor can only take duration as the input. Here we are defining the pattern of detecting the pulse from ultrasonic sensor. Here we are defining the variable duration. The duration is calculated when the equipen is high. Distance is calculated through this formula, and it includes the duration recorded before this line. If the distance is less than 4 centimeters, the green LED is turned off and the red LED is turned on. This means that the food level is too low. However, if the distance calculated is greater than 4, then the food level is not too low. The green LED is turned on and red LED is turned off. However, if the distance calculated is more than 200 and less than or less than 0, then the serial monitor will indicate that it's out of range. The distance will be calculated in centimeters